Who, Gridlock, the third episode of Series 3, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant and Freema Agyeman. So Russell T Davies wanted to revisit New Earth to maintain a sense of continuity, some things that's hard for Doctor Who formula, to write about the topical issues set in dark dystopian future and the traffic jam. So yeah, the third of a trilogy, starting with The End of the World, then New Earth, and now Gridlock. While a couple illegally lied to the computer that there are 3 passengers, so they can go down to the fast lane, they get attacked by a monster we find out later in the episode, with Sally Calypso's broadcasting travel news. Yep, it's such a dark and scary beginning. The Doctor took Martha to New Earth, the same place he took Rose. And if you look closer, where the Doctor closes the TARDIS door, you can see him taking the arrow off the TARDIS door, the one that was done by Elizabeth I's guards at the end of the Shakespeare Code. Apparently New York is based on Mega City 1 from 2000 AD anthology comic book of Judge Dredd. So that's pretty interesting. The Doctor and Martha are in Pharmacy Town at the alleyway, and there's pharmacists opening their market stands and they sell mood patches, and all they go is buy some happy.
Customers! We've got customers! In a business. Mother orders an happy, lovely.
And I'm like, well, is there a happy patch? A young girl buying a forget patch because both of her parents went down to the motorway and she lost them, which is why she wants to forget about them. Martha is like, is that what humans are in the future? So the young couple, Cheen and Milo, kidnaps Martha and gave her a sleep patch, but unfortunately the Doctor wasn't in time to save Martha as they escaped. So after the Doctors ask the pharmacists about the motorway and tell them to close down their market, he goes into the motorway full of flying cars in a traffic jam with exhaust fumes all over the place. The scenery looks pretty cool, the effects holds up well, so a driver invites the Doctor into his car after he was choking by the fumes. We introduce Brannigan, played by Ardo O'Hanlon, who's a cat man, and he has a human wife called Valerie, played by Jennifer Hennessy, who later played Moira, Bill's foster mother in Series 10. Brannigan was inspired by Rod's 1990s children's BBC character.
Hello, it's 9 o'clock and you're watching BBC One for the very first edition of Live and Kicking! Woo!
So those two have been driving for 5 miles in 12 years, and they also have 2-month-old kittens born in the car, and they never saw the daylight. I love the banter between Brannigan and Cassini's, so the Doctor asks for them to help to find Martha because they keep a record of which cars came into the motorway. They find out the car number. As the police puts him on hold, the Doctor asks Brannigan to drive down the fast lane, but he refused for safety of their kittens, so he asks the Cassinis if they've seen a police car or ambulance, but they haven't, so the Doctor believes that everyone is abandoned. While Martha is with 2 kidnappers learning that gun is fake, and yeah, the reason why they kidnapped her is just so they can have 3 passengers to get them down to the fast lane. When they heard strange noises, Cheen tells Martha the stories about cars disappearing in the fast lane, but Milo is like, nah, it's just the air vents. The songs for people in Motorway, The Old Rugged Cross and Abide With Me, Russell T Davies decided to add that in to signify hope and togetherness for them, which is nice. My favourite scene of this episode is where the Doctor jumps from one car into another. And that music as well, it's a blast to watch. So when he uses sonic screwdriver, opening the roofs and floors, moving through several cars, meeting random people like this one, according to Vandam, he's called Whitey. Then he meets 2 hippie girls. It's funny when he borrowed a purple bandana and he said, not my colour.
Thank you for your cooperation, your comments have been noted. Do you mind if I borrow this? Not my colour, but thank you very much.
The fact he's playing this character around 7 years after this episode came out.
Don't move.
Oh, everyone, calm down. You're killing the mood. Jessica,
After he met those girls, he moves into a car with a naked couple, which I'm not sure if that's appropriate, but never mind. The last level the Doctor reached was a businessman. Russell T Davies mentioned that businessman was another inspiration of 2000 AD's Judge Dredd comic books.
Hell of a. Macra.
When the Doctor clears the fog, the monster in the fast lane reveals a giant crab. Monsters called the Macra. They feed upon gas. That is the second episode you see the Macra, as they first appeared in the Macra Terror, Patrick Troughton's episode, which is where they used humans as slaves.
There's another one.
The Doctor mentioned in Gridlock to the businessman. So Javit, another cat kind, tries to warn Milo and Sheen that the fast lane is dangerous just before they get crushed by the Macra. That scene is pretty scary. So Milo turned his car off for a bit, guessing that noise disturbs the Macra, but he then turns it back on and drives above them. Meanwhile, Novice Haim went through cars to find the Doctor and teleported him to Senate of New York. We learned that they were killed by the virus. They're addicted to a bliss patch, and the Face of Bo managed to protect Novice. So the Doctor managed to open the roof of motorway and everyone is free. And it was funny when the Doctor came on news saying there's no Sally Calypso, she's just a hologram.
Here we go.
Drive up, fast. Gotta clear that fast lane. Drive up and get out of the way.
So while Face of Bo glass was shattering, Martha arrives at the Senate and meets the dying Face of Bo. And it's such a sad scene. I liked that character. We find out what he meant when he said "you are not alone" just before he died.
You are not alone.
Because the Doctor refuses to say anything, Martha just sits on a chair until the Doctor tells the truth.
I'm not just a Time Lord. I'm the last of the Time Lords. There was a war. A time war.
This episode is when the Doctor grows attachment to Martha when he noticed he misses her after she was taken. So the Doctor tells her about the last great Time War and that he's the last of the Time Lords, and you can feel it. I loved how he described what Gallifrey looks like. The effects on New York is well done. Another episode I really enjoyed. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this episode. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.